Just when people thought Justin Baldoni was finally the bad guy, Blake Lively proved she will always be the bad guy.
The internet's buzzing with speculation that there was more happened behind the scenes. I believe this. I believe that she liked him. She kind of fell for him. Those scenes were super steamy. Like, they had great chemistry. You could see that in the movie. And she was very kind of flirtatious in that video when they were kind of dancing side by side. And I think there was like text messages going back and forth. I think Ryan Reynolds saw something. I think then he got involved. Then he's poking fun on the Deadpool movie, the nice pool comments and all that stuff about him.
This is my celebrity couple. Like, this is my celebrity couple that I would double date with my husband. Now, I find them so annoying.
Hollywood marriages often appear to be idyllic until a surprising twist occurs. Just when it looks like a celebrity couple has unlocked the secret to lasting love, reality steps in to shake things up. This time, all eyes are on Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
Baldoni has come with receipts. Lively is finished. He has said that the New York Times basically cherry-picked and altered communications and didn't give any context to anyone, which is true. He has text messages of Blake asking him to come to her trailer while she was breastfeeding so that they could discuss the next scene.
Hey, Blake. It is 2 a.m. Hopefully this does not wake you up.
The golden couple, the internet's favorite lovebirds, the ones who convinced us all that playful social media roasting was the secret to a perfect marriage. But it turns out things might not be so picture-perfect after all. Shocking, right? Who would have guessed that behind the glamorous red carpet moments and witty Instagram captions there could be trouble?
One of the biggest Blake Lively supporters on this app, this footage that I'm about to show you guys is going to make it really, really difficult for me. Sorry, but this girl just keeps digging herself into a hole that I cannot dig her out of. This behind-the-scenes footage of them filming a very romantic scene. And in the scene, it is very apparent that Blake Lively is very comfortable and almost a little bit flirtatious. Just watch. This could have been well before he did something that made her feel uncomfortable. I'm not saying that SH did not happen on the set of this movie, but as new evidence becomes available, it is much harder to be on Blake Lively's side, and I am still trying. I think one of the final straws for me, honestly, was when this text message from Blake Lively was released. She basically referred to herself as Khaleesi and implied that Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift are her dragons. Ugh. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of either of them, so I'm really curious how this is going to play out in court, and I'm really waiting for the trial to form any concrete opinions about it.
Enter the lawyer, because nothing says fairy tale romance like a legal expert stepping in with some cold, hard facts. Turns out, behind those perfectly curated public moments lies a less than flattering reality. And when the truth surfaced, let's just say Blake Lively wasn't exactly pleased. Reports say she erupted, because honestly, who enjoys having their marriage turned into a courtroom drama? Buckle up. This one's about to get interesting.
I'm going to stop rambling because Jesus Christ, it's been 6 minutes and 30 seconds, so fuck me. I'm sorry. You probably have kids all over you and a baby on your boob, and you're listening to me ramble at 2 a.m. I can't wait to spend more time with you. Oh.
Blake and Ryan Reynolds were getting bothered by him releasing so much that they asked a judge to put a gag order on Justin to shut him up because they were gagged. Their lawyer said that Justin has further made it clear that his priority is completely torpedoing Blake Lively's career for the rest of her life. And this could actually all be over in 3 days because Blake and Ryan just asked a judge to dismiss this whole court case because they are trying anything to get this to stop because it's ruining their careers. That will be held on February 3rd. Blake Lively is accusing Justin Baldoni of sexual harassment, followed by an attempted PR takedown of her to cover his own ass from people finding out what he did to her. In an article titled, "We Can Bury Anyone," Blake Lively heroically shared her story and the world was on her side because it looked like she was just trying to take down a predator in Hollywood. So Justin Baldoni and his ace lawyer launched an all-cylinder fire attack to clear his name, and he started by suing the New York Times, saying that article was just published because it was paid for by Ryan Reynolds and it was a multi-layered scheme planned out by Blake and Ryan to take down Justin. And I think it's pretty common knowledge that the mainstream media will lie on behalf of their powerful friends or anyone who pays them off to say certain things.
So, What exactly did this lawyer say to send Blake Lively into full-blown damage control mode? Well, according to insiders, it wasn't just one minor detail. It was a full-on avalanche of revelations, the kind that shattered the picture-perfect love story the public has adored for years. And no, this wasn't just tabloid gossip. This was a lawyer, someone armed with actual facts, legal documents, and, brace yourself, receipts.
Reynolds, who's married to Blake Lively, who's in the court documents we're covering. Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, slams Blake's motion. I'm going to share exactly what he had to say, the colorful verbiage to dunk on her response as she's trying to get out of this lawsuit. Blake Lively accusing Justin Baldoni of retaliating with his lawsuit on her. And then we have Justin Baldoni's lawyer saying Blake is abusing the system. To be quite honest, everyone I meet's Team Blake. I mean, other than Taylor Lorenz. Everyone's Team Justin Baldoni. I got that wrong. Everyone's Team Justin Baldoni. Even last night, when I did this stand-up show, there was a Q&A after, like with the host of the show, and I had a girl in the audience yell out, "That bitch." I mean, that's crazy. People really that have followed this are either A, being duped, or they've got a good intuition, and it's really up to you to decide.
Now, let's talk about Ryan Reynolds, the internet's golden boy, the walking, talking meme factory who's made sarcasm his brand. To fans, he can do no wrong, but according to this legal bombshell, his humor might not be landing quite as well behind closed doors. Turns out, that playful, charming sarcasm isn't so charming when it's an everyday reality. Because, surprise, not everyone wants to live in a never-ending comedy special, especially when the jokes stop being funny.
Every interview that Blake is in, there is some portion of it that there is like a staged Ryan Reynolds sort of question. So there was an interview I was watching where they showed Blake a video that they did of Ryan telling her to come home. And there's always like these really cutesy kind of staged moments. And normally, again, years ago, would have found that adorable. But lately it has been so heavy. And I think it's because of the It Ends With Us promotions and marketing. It is also becoming very clear to me now that they have walked all over Justin Baldoni. He is the director of the movie, and it is just very evident that Blake, who was a producer, was kind of stepping on his toes while he's out there doing promotions of the.
Sources say that while the world sees a fun-loving, perfectly in-sync couple, tensions have been simmering beneath the surface for a while. And the lawyer's revelations? They only confirmed what some insiders have been whispering. Blake's patience has been wearing thin. Sure, the couple has mastered the art of playful public banter, but behind closed doors? Let's just say, not every eye roll is all in good fun.
Also has correspondence of Blake asking for the costumes to be sexier in the film, which really doesn't corroborate any of these claims he's been making about the fact that he was sexually exploitative. His lawyers have said, while their side embraces partial truths, we embrace the full truth, and we have all of the communications to back it. Public will decide for themselves, as they did when this first began.
Then there's the issue of power dynamics, because let's be real, Hollywood marriages are rarely an equal playing field, no matter how much they try to pretend otherwise. Blake, a star in her own right, has often been eclipsed by Ryan's larger-than-life internet persona. And according to the lawyer, that dynamic has taken a serious toll on their relationship. Turns out, when one person's brand revolves around being the funny one, the other can start feeling like a sidekick in their own marriage. And Blake? Well, she's never been the type to play second fiddle quietly.
Yes, I do sometimes go on camera, you friends. So, welcome to the channel. I hope everyone's having a good day. There is a lot to talk about, and I have to try to figure out where I'm looking. Okay, camera's right there. I am using my Mac camera right now, so I usually use a different camera, but I have to be looking at the screen because there's a lot that we have to go over. And I'm pretty, there's so much. And I have some clips that I have shared in different videos that I think are relevant to what was recently filed in court. And I recognize that some of you have probably already had an opportunity to find some of this information out. But Welcome. So, Ryan Reynolds is kind of a hot mess, and he recently filed a motion to dismiss. And here's the thing: federal court is motions to dismisses in federal court are extremely hard to have pass. Like, for a judge to grant a motion to dismiss, there has to be a finding of like a technical issue of law. It has nothing to do with the facts of the case. Everyone that's on Blake's side now is arguing that California law doesn't apply to Justin Baldoni and Wayfair, but it applies for Blake. So what I notice a lot about with Blake and Ryan is that it's rules for thee, not for me. And it's just very much the way that narcissists rule the world.
Then came the money drama. Because what's a Hollywood marriage without a little financial tension? Legal discussions have reportedly revealed disagreements over investments, business ventures, and, surprisingly, career sacrifices. While Ryan has been busy expanding his empire with Mint Mobile and Wrexham, it seems Blake has had to hit pause on some of her own ambitions. And if there's one thing Hollywood loves more than a power couple, it's a power struggle disguised as mutual support.
It's now being reported that some of the cast and crew from It Ends With Us have been supporting Justin Baldoni during the alleged feud because they think he got screwed over by Blake Lively. An It Ends With Us source confirmed to TMZ that while there is a rift between the cast and crew, there's no clear-cut villain, and a lot of them are siding with Justin because he was a generally nice guy to work with, and he cared a lot about this film. The source told TMZ that the feud is more like a civil war. While some are siding with Blake, there's also cast members who feel Justin got screwed over. TMZ reports that several people from the crew understand why Justin did a solo press tour after Blake allegedly brought in her own film editor and her husband Ryan Reynolds to do last-minute rewrites of the script, even though it was supposed to be predominantly Justin's project. TMZ said they spoke to multiple sources who said that Blake was eager to be seen as the creator of the film.
But here's where things get even more intriguing. Turns out, this perfect couple has been keeping some major details under wraps for years. The lawyer's statements hinted at behind-the-scenes negotiations, carefully crafted PR strategies, and, wait for it, contractual agreements between them. Because really, what's love without a little legal paperwork? It's almost as if their relationship has been managed as meticulously as one of Ryan's Deadpool scripts. And Blake's reaction? Let's just say erupted might be putting it mildly. If there's one thing she values, it's control over her narrative. Unlike some celebrities who thrive on oversharing, Blake has built her brand on selective exposure. So having a lawyer air out these inconvenient truths? That's the kind of chaos she definitely didn't sign up for.
But it just seems to me that the Team Lively side has been caught really quite flat-footed on this whole thing. And yet they're the plaintiffs. They're the ones who had all the time in the world to prepare this before they filed. So I know you've talked about this, but what is your view of that?
Yeah, that's the thing that was the strangest to me was she claims to have, had all of this ready even when the initial New York Times article was published, right? They claimed that they published this information because they had thousands and thousands and thousands of pages that they reviewed of evidence, and that's why they felt confident publishing this article. I didn't believe that there was, even 50 pages of information that they reviewed, but that's my own it's my own personal opinion. But it's where's the 1,000 documents that they reviewed then?
But let's not forget Ryan's response, because, of course, he wasn't just going to sit back and let this unfold without some kind of damage control. And what does Ryan Reynolds do best? Make light of things. So, naturally, instead of addressing the situation head-on, he did what he always does. Cracked a joke. A deflection? Absolutely. But also a tried-and-true strategy that's kept him in the public's good graces for years. The problem? Not everything can be laughed off. And according to insiders, Blake wasn't exactly in the mood for another witty tweet when all of this came to light. If anything, his casual attitude only made things worse. Because let's be real, if someone is pointing out cracks in your marriage and your first instinct is to make a joke, doesn't that kind of prove the point?
Lively has filed to get out of this lawsuit, And this gets tricky because it applies to a new law in California that was actually enacted in January of 2024. Now, on its face, it can look like that she could get out of it, but there are some details in which I don't see how that's a possibility. And it also doesn't mean Justin Baldoni can't sue her again. Justin Baldoni's $400 million lawsuit. The move comes 2 days after her husband, Ryan Reynolds, asked the court to do the same. In the motion to dismiss, Lively's legal team cited a California law that protects individuals from retaliatory lawsuits if they report allegations of sexual harassment or misconduct. If successful, Baldoni could be on the hook to cover Reynolds and Lively's legal fees. This lawsuit is a profound abuse of the legal process. This is what's in this filing. So this lawsuit is a profound abuse of the legal process that has no place in federal court. California law now expressly prohibits suing victims who make the decision to speak out against sexual harassment or retaliation, whether in a lawsuit or in the press. Attorneys Mike Gottlieb and Ezra Hudson told Yahoo.
And here's another twist. The lawyer hinted that outside pressures have played a major role in their marriage dynamics. In Hollywood, relationships aren't just personal. They're business. And let's not pretend Blake and Ryan haven't benefited from that. Their entire brand is built on being the funny, down-to-earth, relatable couple. But what happens when that image starts to feel more like a performance than reality? The cracks start showing. Think about it. How many times have they strategically trolled each other on birthdays, anniversaries, and special occasions? It's cute. It's funny. It's great for the internet. But when the cameras are off, is it sustainable or just exhausting? According to the lawyer, it's the latter, because maintaining an image takes work, and work takes effort. And effort, well, sometimes people just get tired of it.
Lively's motion, which was obtained by Yahoo, slammed Baldoni's vengeful and rambling lawsuit. I mean, just reading this, it is like venom. It is so disgusting, especially with all the evidence that we know. And just the idea that someone can just claim harassment falsely, ruin someone's life, or falsely claim sexual assault, ruin that person's life, and that person should just lie down and take it. There's nothing can be done about it. It's absolutely insane that this law, I understand why the law was done, but when you think about it, like this is how people can get ahead. They can just threaten somebody and say, I will claim that you tried to sexually harass me if you don't do what I want.
So what now? Is this the beginning of the end for Blake and Ryan? Not necessarily. Hollywood relationships have a way of surviving, mainly because teams of PR experts work around the clock to keep them intact. But what this does mean is that their fairy tale might not be as effortless as they'd like the world to believe. And that alone is enough to shake up their carefully crafted image. Because here's the thing about celebrity relationships. Once the illusion starts to crack, it's almost impossible to piece back together. Suddenly, every interaction, every post, every red carpet moment is viewed through a different lens. And for a couple whose entire brand is built on being effortlessly in sync, that's a problem. Fans might still swoon over their witty online banter, but behind the scenes, things might not be quite so picture perfect. And as for Blake and Ryan, let's just say they now have a lot more to manage than just their next viral tweet.